Welcome to a new episode of Video Ditch. As always, it's me, Sam, and my co-host Nick. We're like the Hall & Oates of independent video game journalism. And today,
Hauling Oats, what is this, a podcast, or are you a pack mule?
today we're joined by the infallible Grant Mooney, the other
Hello.
half of Thought Cops, the podcast extraordinaire.
And apparently I get a video episode, and Kevin didn't get a video episode.
Well, he was supposed to, but since we tried to record on Discord, it was horrifically bungled. We got, I think, 5 good frames of him, and the rest is just like a JPEG artifact hell.
That's happened so many times with us, and we started using Zoom, and I don't think we'll ever go back to anything. We bounce around to like a number of different programs, and no need to talk anymore inside baseball of the exciting world of podcasting.
What service do you prefer?
Yeah.
You know, I think I've been using Slack lately.
Zoom
you know,
Premium, it's getting me a lot of mileage. But yes, thank you for joining us today, Grant.
Hello.
World-renowned
thank you.
game lover Grant.
Yeah.
Right. So Grant Mooney, last I recall, is a musician, the other half of the Thought Cops podcast.
I'm a failed musician, but
a writer,
musician nonetheless.
Yeah.
and a man known for his toned body, which is okay to say because that's his job, I believe. If not, I'll just edit it out, so it's not a problem.
You just censor that.
You can edit in or out almost anything. I don't want to say anything, but yeah.
I know. I really enjoy the for our listeners, Nick's got a Bratz poster just like
is that in defiance of the Barbie movie, or
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, we're the real icons. Where's the real
where's the
feminist
real
at?
representation here? Yeah.
When are they gonna make a movie about women and how they be shopping is what I was trying to get at with this one. A subtle jab.
The Bratz had a little cameo, not a
Barbie?
cameo. Yeah, a little bit of like, I think that's like the little girl's friends are supposed to be the Bratz dolls.
I actually didn't see it. The only reason I even want to see Oppenheimer is because it's tangentially related to Japan in a way.
All right.
Yeah. You're certainly not incorrect. The last movie I saw in the theater was this horror movie, Talk to Me. You guys seen the trailers for that one?
Was
like
is
the
that
spooky
good?
hand?
Yeah, I've seen.
It wasn't bad. I'd say if you're gonna go see it, go for it. I wouldn't recommend against it. I felt like it was a pretty blunt, like drug use metaphor. Like there's some like imagery and like auditory stuff where I'm like, oh, this is like just like don't do drugs because you're gonna be tripping out like this shit. And
that sucks.
yeah.
They get addicted to talking to ghosts.
Yeah, a little bit like, oh, that felt so good. I gotta try it.
Oh my
again.
god, that sounds like one of those fake red letter media pitches.
Don't talk to the ghost with the head. You'll get addicted.
Honestly. Well, it's like my favorite. I think my favorite thing about drugs is the
that
book
you don't
Brave,
get addicted to them,
the book Brave New World, right? That was written by Aldous Huxley, and he's like, listen, in the future, everyone's just going to be drugged out. You're going to take all these drugs and you're going to feel nothing all the time. And it's just going to be so terrible. It's going to be a utopia, but everyone's just going to sort of like blow through life or whatever. And he was just like very anti-drug. And then he did drugs. And then all the rest of his books were like, drugs are great, man. You should Doors of Perception.
His first book was Brave New World. And his second book was Naked Lunch, I believe.
Right.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So on today's show, we're probably going to cover just a little bit of Gamescom 2023 that's happening right now. And then we'll be going back to the past, back to the good times and reliving the early days of the internet with Y2K Flash games, talking everything from our favorites from games to websites. But yeah, I guess to start with Gamescom, Grant and I were talking a little bit before.
I don't know what this is.
Yeah,
I don't keep up with video games. I just play them, which makes me a not good guest for this show, perhaps. But
I know, it's perfect.
Well, you got name recognition.
Now we get the opportunity to educate. So now it's on us.
It's true.
To
Let us indoctrinate you.
Yeah.
This is also how Thought Cops works too. As I go, hey, games thing happened. Could our guest tell us about it? And then so I do nothing. I
right
really
on.
have no like tangible skills.
Well, it's a strategy. You've gotten like 300 episodes down, so you're certainly doing something
Yeah, and
something
there's
correct.
very little substance.
I mean, let's not talk inside baseball. Let's talk
Gamescom.
Gamescom. It's a games conference for developers to showcase, the projects they're working on in Cologne, Germany. Historically, is where it's held. It started in 2009, I think, so it's not super old. I was looking at the Wikipedia page earlier at like the debut games at
I'm also
the first Gamescom. Yeah, could you take a guess at some of the first games that were at Gamescom?
I'm gonna say Witcher 1.
Witcher 1. Okay.
It's all like Euro trash back then, right?
It
All
was
super
a lot of like
janky,
Nordic
Nordic games,
Nordic
Paradox
publishers,
Interactive,
yeah.
Crusader Kings 1, that kind of thing.
But Capcom did make a showing, at 2009.
They decided to throw a little corn to the peasants, a little cake to the little Neanderthals lurking.
That's right. Okay. 2010, excuse me. It started in 2010. Oh no, 2009. See, I'm bungling it already.
Thank you.
Classic.
I mean, I have no idea, but I'm gonna make a shot in the dark. I think perhaps Ratchet and Clank All 4-1, I think, made its debut.
Okay, you got Ratchet and Clank, but it's Ratchet and Clank Future, A Crack in Time. It's 2009.
I was reading directly off of Wikipedia.
Oh shit.
Did you know that those subtitles are like a joke?
Oh yes, I certainly caught Going Commando.
Let's edit that out. I regret
arsenal.
even saying that. It can't all land, I guess.
All right, think of a Capcom game. What'd you say? Did you guess? What?
Capcom game? Devil May Cry 3, 4.
None. Not a Devil May Cry. It was a Monster Hunter Try. That's 2009 Gamescom. But yeah, this week it's been happening. Frankly, a lot of the announcement trailers don't really seem to be up the alley of myself and the co-host here. Although, Grant, I do have a question for you, just gaming in general.
Hey, I'm like Radio Shack. You got questions, I got answers.
Perfect. So what do you choose to play when you're playing your games? Like, do you stick with like a certain genre? Do you keep up at all?
I'm a normie Tendo. Whatever Nintendo does, I'm just like, yeah, shut up and feed me.
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah.
Is this like a lifelong relationship thing?
Here.
I guess, kind of. Really, my parents only ever let me buy like one video game a year, and I just happened to have like a N64. And then I spent all of my college years collecting all the old N64 games that my friends had, but I didn't have. Mm-hmm. And then going back and like collecting GameCube games and Wii games and shit like that. So it was always just like Nintendo. Like at one point I bought a PS2 just because there were so many PS2 games, but I like never ventured into other anything else really. Like the only other thing was like Flash games, which is sort of like y'all aforementioned because I was poor, and you go online and you go to addictinggames.com and those are free, and I was like, cool, let me play this in the computer lab before school, before the librarian kicks me out.
Okay, I've got a lot of memories about that. Honestly, do we even have to talk about Gamescom?
No, that's it. We could totally segue out of this.
Gamescom.
The whole point about Gamescom is that so far it blows. There's nothing interesting. I had the whole press conference on just so that I could say that I watched it. Boring as fuck. Jeff Keighley looks like he wishes he was dead. Jeff Keighley, by the way, you may have seen online. He was the Dorito Pope image. He's
I don't even know who this guy is, and I hate him.
He's a guy he likes. He's a guy who's like, and now when you play fucking Halo, if you drink a Mountain Dew, you get double experience weekend. You know?
Yeah, that zooms in on his dead face. Yeah. Classic.
It's like why I don't like video games is because of people like that.
Wow. Jeff Keighley.
Soulless corporate face.
Yeah.
It's fair. Yeah. It's fair.
Well,
and he's got to step up security because this year, he had like a heckler run up and talk about Bill Clinton wanting GTA 6.
Oh, is that the same thing?
It's another.
It's a different guy.
Yeah. Okay.
It was an adult man instead of a child this time, so a lot
Yeah.
less funny and charming, and a lot more embarrassing.
Yeah.
You know, can I be honest? Can I be honest with y'all? Can I open up?
Please.
That was not funny. The child. I keep seeing that child pop up everywhere afterwards, and none of it was ever endearing or entertaining.
There you
People
go.
are like, "Well, he's getting views," and it's like, I don't
I don't want to
care.
reward bad behavior.
He's annoying. I
Yes.
don't like.
It's
He's just
strange.
a kid.
It's
Kids
strange what
just
people
do
like
stupid
worship on the
shit.
internet. Yeah,
It's weird. Yeah.
I was fine when he was just lightly trolling what's his name, Hayao Miyazaki and the rest of the FromSoft guys, but you know, the writer strike thing or whatever, it's just not that interesting to me. I think he
No,
should have
it's
stayed
not.
with video games, stayed irritating people who take video games way too seriously. I think would have been a good avenue to follow.
Yeah.
I didn't even get the writer's strike. Like I remember seeing a video where he was just like the writer's strike, what, and it's just like, what's even
Why are we
what's
listening
the
to this
point?
kid?
Yeah.
Why are we fucking listening?
What's
to
your
him? Yeah.
angle? Like you
Yeah.
can't just say like, oh, I'm trolling and then just say nothing. That's just called you're not saying anything. Maybe I'm just being a hater. Maybe
Nah.
This is literally this is hater central. Hate
Exactly.
away.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
This
good.
is the video ditch. You come to just wallow in this shit.
Yeah.
You know, where good discourse comes to die is what I think.
We called it video ditch because video pigsty had bad SEO.
you win some, you lose some.
Yeah. All right. Well,
So
with
that's
that,
Gamescom, huh?
that was
That's Gamescom.
Yeah.
It's in Germany, and it's had nothing that appealed to me or was interesting. Sonic's eyes turned blue. That was about the only thing.
Yeah, you
I
went Super
do
Saiyan
like
2.
Sonic. Mhm.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
it.
Tekken 8 coming out, looking good. I wish
Yeah,
it was
but,
coming
yeah.
out this year, but yeah, we talked about Tekken 8.
It's not news.
At length.
I do feel like Mortal Kombat 1 coming out has pushed back Tekken 8's release date, which for me is unfortunate because I have no interest in Mortal Kombat
Mhm.
and I have quite a lot of interest in Tekken 8, but we've been over this many times. Grant, what do you think about Tekken 8 versus Mortal Kombat?
Yeah,
Where
let's
do you
hear
stand?
your
all
your
those
opinion.
games, I'm gonna sound like a real douchebag, so just allow me. It's fine, just whatever. You can just
Yeah,
people can
yeah.
just be like, what an asshole, and then you'll get more comments on your video and it'll shoot to the top of the algorithm.
Wonderful,
and it'll be
yeah.
fine.
Controversy.
But I always just felt like all the fighting games were like the exact same, and I know that they're not, but they always felt like it.
Okay.
And so I just like, I don't like the whole like the way that they move, and I get that, like, yes, the Soul Calibur games, like, oh, you could do a step, and then some of the other games were like,
That's right.
oh, now
Eight-way
we
movement.
also
Yeah.
we're also doing this
Now we're
step.
talking.
And I just never clicked in my head as like a thing that like locked in. And like I know that there's like the what do you call it? There's a controversy as to whether or not Smash Bros is like a fighting game.
Wonderful. That was going to be my next question. It's like, okay, how do you feel about Smash Brothers as a Nintendo fan?
And I grew up with it, and I got, I think, competent at it.
Mhm.
And then there's a bunch of people that are like, it's not a fighting game, and it's like, well, but they're fighting.
They're fighting in
It's
this
like
game.
it's not a fighting it's not a fighting game though, because
It's
a fighting
totally a
game is
fighting
you move and you fight, and they're not fighting, and it's like, but that's what they're doing.
Mhm.
Is they're fighting each other, and I don't know what other. It's not a racing game. It's not a Pikmin. It's not a Pokemon.
Certainly not.
It's a fighting game, and so I always gravitated towards that, and the other ones I just like, they didn't click in my brain. Like I didn't get the little like the
Quarter
muscle
circle
mind
input,
connection. Yeah, it never made its way into the dark recesses of my autonomic nervous system.
Totally fair. I
I'm
get it.
flying to Chicago to fight you in real life.
That's fine. I did
No, I
several
think-
years of martial arts, and I'm very big.
Nice.
I've
I can
never
tell
done
from
any, but I think my gamer rage will carry me through it.
You think that? I think a lot of people think that.
Yeah, man, I just see red and then there's bodies everywhere.
Yeah.
No, I've never had any training.
I watched a video of a kid in high school just the other day. I was scrolling through Twitter, or it's called X now. I was scrolling
yeah.
through X, and I saw a video of a high school fight, and the kid shit his
Shit his
pants in
pants.
the middle.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Fantastic.
It was great.
And he kept going. I mean,
The internet's so grand.
you got to keep going. I'm not going to shit my pants and leave.
Crazy. It's crazy because of like the state of the shit it was though, right? Because it wasn't like
It was very visible.
yeah,
It
it
was
wasn't
visible
solid. It was
and
like
completely liquid.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Why would you
Uh,
start a fight if you
and
know
then,
like
yeah,
I'm going
Yeah,
to
if I have
I
like
got
a
to shit
squelch in
soon,
my stomach, I would just be like, we'll
right?
save this for another day.
it's
Maybe
even
he just got hit
crazier
so
because
hard.
the kid also like sneak attacked him, and then he got hit back so hard he shit himself. Like he had every opportunity to avoid shitting himself, and he
Mhm.
went through the worst possible process to guarantee the maximum embarrassment.
It's the old
Yeah.
Mike Tyson quote. Everyone has a plan until they get hit in the face, and I'm
Shit
sure
themselves, yeah.
shitting his pants was not in the plan. So
Pretty epic. Pretty epic
Uh,
stuff.
but getting back to it, right? Fighting games, they are different, but Smash is a fighting game. People who
Yeah,
say that
it's
it
a
isn't
platform
are
fighter.
yeah,
incredibly
I'm fine
obnoxious.
with platform fighter or
Hmm.
whatever, but yeah.
Um, I think the main problem with Smash is that the people who take it so seriously are mostly criminals who should be imprisoned.
Yeah. Well, of
That's the main
course.
issue.
Hmm.
Right.
But it is a fighting game. I will say that as much as Dissidia or any other one is.
Yeah. All right. Wait, so we didn't get an answer on I guess
What?
neither, right? Mortal Kombat
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
Tekken?
No, I have no.
Neither. I like
I
that.
think
Option
his
C.
answer was I
Yeah.
look at the two images and they are the same image to me.
Hmm.
I did. I watched
More
the
Tekken combat.
movies.
Yeah.
I watched the movies. I saw the Tekken anime movie, and I saw the Mortal Kombat movie. And I
The
gotta
one
say,
from the
Mortal Kombat
90s
movie,
or the
not yeah, the one from the '90s, not
okay.
not good,
No,
not
certainly
good.
not good, but I love it all the same.
I never saw the Street Fighter anime, and I've heard that that's good.
It is the old one is pretty good, mostly because there's no
Yeah,
story at all, so they just made up whatever. It's the same thing with the Fatal Fury movie, just a
Mm.
random, really good animator playing around with good designs.
Yeah, a bunch of fights. That's wonderful. All right. Shall we move on to the early noughties, our early 2000s nostalgia? Take us back to the past.
Yes, yes, ideally. This is the real meat of it, I think.
Mhm.
This is what actually is interesting, unlike all that
Unless
stupid.
you want to cover the Sonic Amateur Game Expo, which is also
I mean, I feel like
happening.
that's down the line. That's like
Okay,
directly ties
perfect.
into this.
Perfect. Then let's begin.
I mean, flash games as something they are something that I was a big fan of for a long period of time in my life. I'm gonna start off. I wrote a little timeline here, a
I
sliding
love it.
scale of edge that my life went down. So
Oh,
did you guys ever go on this site called Lenny Loose Jocks when you were younger by any chance?
I don't think so.
no.
Oh,
Don't
it was
think I've
like
heard of it.
there's this Australian flash site of all about this character, and he had a bunch of like free games or like full adventure games, but neither of you played it, so it doesn't really matter. Anyways, I think
Why was
after
it
that,
good? Was it good? Was it bad?
yeah, it was good. It was like a combination of those like kind of old Sierra adventure games and or like MS
Mm.
DOS shitty
Hmm.
platformers, but they were
Yeah.
free. You know, they were
Yeah.
free to play, and there was a lot of them.
Lenny Loose Socks.
Lenny Loose Jocks. He was an Australian half naked guy with big orange hair, big dreads going all over the place.
Okay.
He had a funny voice,
Yeah.
and there was no swearing, so it was perfect. I could play with my
I
parents around.
played in the library.
Yeah, it wasn't funny, but there was no swearing. There were a lot of games.
Okay. That is good. I was gonna ask you guys what like your earliest memories of Flash gaming were. Like Grant, do you have anything like specific in mind?
I didn't, but then my memory was jogged. I do remember being in like the town library, not the school library, but the town library,
Mhm.
and like I can't remember if like someone showed me like, oh, you got to check out. I think Stick RPG might have been one of the first
Yes,
games,
that's one of
like
the
the first
greats.
Flash games that it was like, wow, you
Mhm.
can just there's a video game on the computer and I don't need a CD-ROM for it. And I remember like being at the library in Warrenville, Illinois, and playing Stick RPG and it just like blowing my mind and just knowing that
Mhm.
like I can just go to addictinggames.com.
Yeah.
I can get
Classic.
whatever game I want whenever I want it, and I don't need to download anything and I don't need to pay money.
It
Yeah.
Because I
was
didn't have money. I was in 6th grade.
I think that's like the story for all of us. Yeah. If anyone
yeah.
really like engaged with it a lot. Stick
Yeah,
RPG was like
children
the
don't
top
have a lot of
down.
money.
top down kind of. You had like the
Yeah.
blue sprite, and
Yeah,
you made money and
you can
kind
beat
of
up
just
people in the
did whatever.
street.
Yeah,
Yeah, and like for some
wonderful.
reason
Yeah,
you had to buy a pack of smokes, and I was just
Yes,
like, I don't know, I don't want
it
cigarettes, but
was
I guess the
awesome.
character does.
yeah.
It was
Addicting
so
Games was
cool. It was like what I imagined GTA was like.
Yeah,
this is like a life simulator. Yeah,
Exactly.
right.
yeah. Why can't I
Yeah.
do this in every game?
Well,
Yeah.
this skips down the timeline a bit, but that's fine. So I'm guessing you guys didn't go on Homestar Runner or Albino Black Sheep. Those just passed you by.
Albino Black Sheep, I am familiar with.
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah.
that's the video, or
It's like
that's
the
the
poor
platform, I
man's
suppose.
Newgrounds.
Yeah, that's where I saw Numa
Right.
Numa for the
Yeah.
first
Yeah,
time,
yeah,
right,
yeah,
as a
yeah.
child.
We
Um,
recently had on our show the guy that did the Sparta remix.
oh, I saw that on Twitter.
Keaton,
Yeah, and he
um,
had not expected it to blow up the way it did,
yeah,
right?
he also
Yeah.
did a number of other animations too that I remember watching on Albino Black Sheep. He did the evil strawberry one. He did the Michael Phelps restaurant one.
Okay,
Just like a number of those like weird things that like you don't think about for 15 years, and then
and then
like you're like searching this guy on like Wikipedia to like interview him, and or wiki whatever he
Wikitubia, whatever.
yeah, and you're like, oh shit, he made all of these. I remember all these.
yeah. Wow.
Yeah. What's is really crazy to me is I didn't know about him until I saw his funny comics. I had no idea he made anything else outside of those like MS Paint comics that he makes now.
Right.
So it's crazy that I've known of him pretty much my entire life. But I guess that's kind of how it is with all these old Flash cartoons. If you have one that blows up, it like leaves a permanent imprint in your brain for the rest of
Yeah,
your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
hits you at exactly the right time to just
Yeah.
stick forever.
Yeah, like Homestar Runner. If I ever meet the Brothers Chaps, I don't know what to say. Simply too starstruck.
What was
Yeah,
the appeal? What was the appeal with Homestar Runner? I never got
That's
into
one
it.
of those that it never sunk its claws into me. I never got
Well,
it.
it helps if you're 10 to 12, I think, because it's like
Okay.
got a very like slightly edgier, I don't know, Cartoon Network kind of look. It was very well animated for Flash cartoons because you probably remember at the time most Flash cartoons were like complete dog shits in terms
Mhm.
of animation.
Is the Ultimate Showdown of Ultimate Destiny a Flash animation?
It
that
is, yeah.
I think so,
it's
yeah.
like a classic one. I'm trying to think of
It's Lemon
old
Demon.
ones. Yeah.
I forget
Uh-huh.
what his real name is. He still makes music under
Wonderful.
a
That's
moniker.
wonderful, actually.
Yeah, he had a bunch of show Newgrounds too. Yeah,
Let me
Homestar
look up
Runner.
his name real quick.
Yeah,
I
no,
think
go
it's
for it.
Neil Cicierga.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
He has
Good memory.
the other song about two trucks having sex.
That's
Wow.
right.
Yeah.
He's a real multi-talented guy. He's a renaissance man of the internet
Right.
age.
A polymath if there ever was one.
Yeah, exactly. A real anyways. Yeah, Homestar Runner.
That's
I
about
don't know. Funny. It had like a big variety. None of the games really had anything to do with the show, which was odd to me. Like they had a full Sierra style like police quest or
Mhm.
peasant adventure game Peasant Quest, which was crazy to me. It had text-based adventures because even back then I was really big on RPGs and story-based stuff. So the fact that
Yeah.
someone just made full-on games that were nothing but text to a normal person, I assume they would see that and say, this is the worst shit ever. But me at that time, I was like, this is the greatest thing ever.
Just
It's an
radical.
interactive book. Wow. But yeah, after Albino Black Sheep, I was looking for stuff that was a little bit crazier, and that's when I started going on places like a Stick Page, or did you guys ever go on Stick Death? Perhaps I know that
No.
it was
I
basically
don't
like
think
these.
so.
There's like a whole collection of web pages that were like Stick X
Uh-huh.
that I'm pretty sure were just like stealing animations and games from other sites like Newgrounds and putting them on their page because they knew that kids were looking up stick figures fighting.
Yeah.
I think that was actually technically my first introduction to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure because someone reanimated all the Heritage for the Future supers with like stick figures.
That's amazing. I could see it in my head already.
But yeah, I would like look up a video of a stick figure getting shot in the head, and I'd be like, "Oh my god, I just saw real life gore. I just saw real life execution. No one can ever know that I saw this."
Oh wow. Thinking about those stick figure fight animations totally like triggered something in my mind too. Yeah. There are like a series of them.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I don't even know if they're probably not the same guy. I feel like, if I really wanted to, I could probably just fire up MS Paint or something and pop one
Mm.
out in about a week or two. But
Oh, I'd love to see it.
You mean a stick figure or a fully fledged game?
oh, like a stick figure.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Take your time. Yeah.
Take it
Go ahead.
down. Taking the week for it.
But yeah, so stick page, and then from there, I think I just kept searching like free games, and I was kind of weeding out all the sites that had the repeats, all the sites that had too many ads, too ugly, not
Right.
interesting. Until I eventually somehow stumbled on Newgrounds, and that was
Mhm.
kind of my obsession up until like high school, was checking that every day.
I feel like I don't know. Go for it.
I was just gonna say, and I think that the sort of nail in the coffin, because a lot of these games are still around, but it's not as big of like a thing now as it was in like the 2000s, when it's just
Mhm.
like, yeah, you just go on a computer and you can just pull up a game. You don't need a cartridge, you don't need a console, you don't need anything. You just play a game on your computer. I think that like one of the nails in the coffin of that was definitely when the iPhone came out and Steve Jobs was like, we're not doing flash on our phones, and it was just like it's over, it's
It's over.
done, it's
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah.
And then they started doing all these fucking mobile games, and I think that the thing that like makes people so nostalgic for like flash games in particular is that flash games were good, and there's no good mobile games. They don't exist. There's not a single one that's like Angry Birds is fine, but like
Yeah.
it's not that good, and
It's
they're just like
stimulating
riddled
something
with
else.
ads,
Yeah.
and you can just like pay to beat them. And it's just like like the whole like the idea of like sitting and playing a game and like getting good at it and like getting a feel for it and shit like that. It's like I don't care. I download something and then I play it for like a week and I just like throw it in the
Forget
fucking
about it.
recycle bin because it takes up too much space on my phone.
I
Yeah,
feel that.
I know what you mean. I mean, I think it really has a lot to do also with, to be a bit more artistic in my analysis here. I think that a big part of Flash games that people made them not for any real like reason outside of they really wanted to make a game and they wanted to make
Hmm.
something that they thought was fun and they were interested in.
Yeah.
Whereas a phone game, there's literally no reason to make one whatsoever if you're not trying to make
Monetize
as
it.
much money as quickly as
Yeah.
possible off of like
That's
kids or like mentally stunted adults.
yeah. That's like I think the big dividing line between like early internet and like current modern later internet or whatever
Hmm.
is that like early internet was just like hobbyists that didn't know what they were doing but that figured out how to do what they wanted to do because they really just wanted to make video games, and like they grew up playing them and they're just like, I'm just going to figure out how to code, and somehow they did. And nowadays it's just like, hey, you can make a lot of money developing apps.
Yeah.
And
Developing
so
apps,
every
developing
single
games.
person that creates every website, every game, every fucking like piece of music, every piece of art is all just like some fucking tech bro that has no appreciation for like artistry in general, that just wants to like fucking make a quick buck and then like invest that in their next fucking venture
Hmm.
product or whatever.
Yeah,
And
slap on the
it
same
sucks.
plastic shitty
Everything
aesthetic.
fucking sucks. Yeah.
I agree. Things were better back in the day. You're right, but really, you are.
You
Uh,
are certainly. I've been
I hate everything. I think in terms of the way that
Yeah, me
that
too.
games are made and the way
Oh
that
yeah,
videos are
right.
made, uh, and some other things that aren't related to that. But that's not really the subject of the show today. But no, I really do think that no, not even I think I know for a fact I would be happier and I would enjoy more the things on the internet if there were still people actively making things for the sake of trying to make themselves laugh, trying to make something that they would want to play for free, even if it does look amateurish and weird. If it's because it was all unique, it was all one person, one vision, kind of the auteur style of game and video
You
making.
do love that.
That's,
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's really, really something incredible if someone can actually put the time in to make
Hmm.
something that is what they want to make. I don't,
Yeah.
a nice glimpse into their psyche.
Yeah. And the importance of these kinds of tool sets and their availability for people and creatives. Yeah, when did Flash officially die? Do you remember when that like no
I think it was
longer?
in
couple of years ago.
2020.
Yeah,
They
It
got
was
rid
like
of all of it.
yeah,
it's
like
crazy to think about.
a little bit after I think well, not the pandemic. I guess that's still happening, but
Yeah,
after like the lockdowns, they were just like, yeah,
yeah,
no
fuck it.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Biden said, "Too many people are playing Pico's school. Shut it down."
God damn it, I hate him.
Too many people are playing Love Hina Sim Date.
Yeah. No,
He ruined gas prices and Flash
and Flash
games.
gaming. Yeah,
One step too far, sir.
it's all over.
This guy makes me sick.
With Flash games, I think it's interesting the ones that kind of like made it out of like that status and became like full-fledged retail games like, later on
Right.
in the future. Like Alien Hominid, I think was like probably the first one to do it.
Yeah.
Kind of everything else that the Behemoth did after with like
One
Castle Crashers and everything.
One that I have on my list that I have a fond memory of playing before school. That I think eventually, I think it's still like a solid third party game that still makes its way onto like consoles and shit. Is the End Game?
Yeah,
I'll have played the End
the
Game.
little platformer, right?
Yeah, the
Kind
little
of physics-based.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was around in like 2005 when I was in high school, and I used to play that. And then like I'd like go over to a friend's house like 10 years later,
Mhm.
and it's like, oh look, I got this on my PlayStation. And it's
Yeah,
like, look,
yeah, they ported it.
I think it's on
Yeah.
I think they ported it to like the Switch too.
I believe
Yeah,
that.
I
it's
think
on
it's
everything.
on there.
I think they
Yeah.
just keep adding more pluses to the end.
Yeah, and plus. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Good pick.
I feel like, and I never really think about that, but I feel like without N, there wouldn't be anything like a Super Meat Boy or I Want to Be the Guy. All those like insanely hard slide on the wall type platformers.
Yeah. With that like sticky physics. Totally.
Did y'all play I Want to Be the Guy? Because that was one of my crowning achievements in college. As I
did
beat
not
it.
play that one.
You beat it? I never got past
Yeah.
the first screen. I got too irritated.
Famously irritating game.
Okay.
I don't know why I got like fucking addicted to it, and I was just like, I need to be the guy.
You're a masochist.
A little bit, yeah. I think that's like kind of like part of my apprehension towards video games lately is I spent so much time on like really difficult games that it's like I don't want to do this anymore.
I want
hate
to put
this.
myself through that.
Yeah, I just want easy Hello Kitty Island adventure
I
shit.
get that, yeah.
I just want like candy for my eyeballs.
Yeah, you
So
could,
maybe you would enjoy the offerings of Gamescom then, because some of it is this,
Maybe.
like, shallow popcorn gaming.
literally.
But then also
just
too,
mindless.
like last year I got on like a Dark Souls kick, and I'm like, let me try this again, and I kind of fell off of it. I would like to beat it, but I don't want to pull my hair out.
That's
No,
fair.
it's fun. The fun is in the suffering. You're supposed to enjoy it, or else you're playing it incorrectly. And if you use any magic, someone's going to come to your house and beat you with a bat.
I get that. I mean, I just feel like I do that for too much other shit in my life. And then I go, why am I making my life so hard? This isn't making me better or richer or anything. It just hurts, and I don't need to do this.
Yeah.
Why am I biking to work in 0-degree weather wearing shorts? What do I have to prove?
Well, I'm sure that whoever passes by you, he's thinking like that guy.
One
check out
time,
his
Check out those quads.
Yeah.
one time I was walking to work. It was 0 degrees outside, and I work early because I'm a personal trainer because I'm stupid. And I was walking to work, and it's 0 degrees outside, and I'm wearing shorts, and I live in Chicago, and I was walking through downtown to get to where I work, and one of those like salt trucks come by, and you don't really realize it when you're wearing pants. But when you're wearing shorts, you're like, oh, this salt is coming out of this truck very rapidly. And it's just firing salt. And it's like this rainbow of salt that's coming out of this truck. And so, like, at 5 a.m., I'm jumping over a rainbow, and there's nobody around. And this truck driver must have been like, what the fuck am I looking at?
You're like one of those bugs with those bug assaults and little rifles getting fired at you.
Yeah, I was a video game character that day. That was my Dark Soul.
You're like, I said I want to be the guy, but this is ridiculous. And Apple busts your head open.
I hate that. I hate when they come from up instead of they fall down, they fall up. Fucking bullshit.
Frankly, I think that game might be why I hate 2D platformers now that I think about it, actually.
All right, we're back after whatever technical difficulty just occurred. And where were we? Where were we? We were talking about.
I was talking about jumping over a salt rainbow at 5 a.m. when the streets were dead and it was just me and a truck driver.
That sounds like a Flash game premise right there.
It
Like
could be.
a man walking to work in the Chicago streets. And
Idiot
avoiding...
wearing shorts in winter to prove something to himself because he read a David Goggins book.
See, that'd be good.
Work.
You get hit with salt, you pick up Malort as a power up or a point system, perhaps. all the classic Chicago mainstays.
Right. It gets a little memey after a while, I gotta say. Like
living?
And yeah, being alive, it's overrated. No, I don't know. We used to do, and we still do, I guess, do like Malort shots and whatever on the show, but it's definitely like, I don't know, Malort's kind of like the Reddit of Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of
Reddit of Chicago?
Yeah.
What do you think of that show, The Bear?
It's good. It's a good show.
Okay.
Oh, The Bear is the blue sky of Chicago.
Yeah, truly. It's invite only. It's one of the better, I think, Chicago shows. Like, there's a lot of, well, first of all, there's that junk heap that is like Chicago PD, Chicago Fire, Chicago whatever the fuck. Those are all garbage. But there's a lot of shows that are like set here and they film here, but they make no sense. Like Shameless is like that, and Shameless is a dog shit fucking show. Like, there were some good seasons, there were some good episodes. But the time traveling and the traveling around the city when they would go, oh, I gotta go to the south side, and they'd just be like, we're in the south side now, and it's like, that would take you 45 minutes from where you were. I know. Bullshit.
Not literal time travel.
I was thinking, I've never seen all of Shameless. Like, when the fuck did Frank Gallagher get like a time machine to a doc? Whatever.
Philip H. Macy, just like, it's time.
That'd be more exciting, actually. I'd rather watch that.
Oh, he carried the statue's arm all the way to the Ping Tom Memorial, and it's like, that's far. I know how far that is. You can't cheat me on this.
All I remember about Shameless was that it has the most obnoxious depiction of a constantly drunk alcoholic with the main character.
Yeah,
just being like, I need beer now, or else I'm gonna lose it.
It got so ridiculous. There was one season where he was going through like alcohol withdrawal, and he was like doing eye drops of like vodka into his eyeballs.
Insane.
It was like, dude, this is silly. This is not real.
That's like an Always Sunny episode.
Yeah.
Shameless was based off of something from the UK, right? It was like originally over there. I wonder if it did the Office thing where it just like went on way longer than the original program.
Absolutely. I think it did.
Classic America.
It didn't make a lot of sense. Like, you know, I don't want to talk inside baseball too much with Chicago, but like,
take a shot every time.
If they're like a poor Irish family, they were living in like Canaryville, which I'm pretty sure is like 98% black, and it's like there's one black character in the show. Why wouldn't they like set the show in Bridgeport? Like, did none of the writers live in shit? Did none of the writers visit Chicago or read the Wikipedia page on Chicago before they made a TV show about Chicago? It made no sense.
I think I already answered your question. They're all from Birmingham, right?
What's the American equivalent of Birmingham?
Liverpool,
Chicago. Yeah.
They all got razors in their fucking Scully caps.
Yeah. They're the Peaky Blinders. Another show I'm never gonna watch.
Why is that? Why are you so vehemently against popular things?
I don't like anything that's live action unless it's like really good and I've already been tricked into watching it and liking it. Like Breaking Bad. I didn't watch that until for a long time.
Right.
And then I watched and I was like, damn, this is pretty good.
Pretty good. Vince Gilligan knows what he's doing, I guess. Yeah.
I was going to say Peaky Blinders is good for maybe one season. I would just stop there. I would just go one season and be like, I've had enough. I'm full. And then just don't.
That's the most you can hope for.
Progressively.
You think so? Diminishing returns?
I think so. I think it's diminishing returns, yeah.
I can't wait for like the early seasons when they're like nigh unintelligible. It's like, yeah, I have no idea what this guy's saying.
Yeah, it gets sillier and sillier that it's like, Tommy has a plan and no one's going to listen to the plan.
Yeah.
Somebody else has their own plan, but at the end, they're all going to go with Tommy's plan. And why did they go with Tommy's plan? Because he's good at
Cillian
plans.
Murphy.
And it's like, how many seasons can we do this for where we just do the
6.
same?
Just
6. Yeah.
Boy, bro, I think we should enlist Thanos for the Peaky Blinders.
Thanos.
Like that kind of
It's
thing.
nearly that level. I mean, I know people like to shit on Marvel stuff, but it's like everything's Marvel now. You can't get away from
You
it.
can't escape the
Unfortunately
influence.
true.
Yeah. It's crazy what things have evolved into. I can't believe we're at that stage in our lives where we're being nostalgic and bitter.
Yeah.
About,
things were like
everything was
how they
so
used to
much
be.
better when I was younger.
You know what was funny was Burnt Face Man. Now that was comedy.
Oh shit. All right. Do we have any more thoughts on your Y2K Flash games? Any more of your timeline? Any more
Let's
favorites?
see. I got
Yeah.
just a list of
You got
them
a list
here.
of
I
them.
got the end game, obviously we talked
Mhm.
about.
Yeah,
I want to be the guy. I'll play Cookie Clicker. That was one.
Of course.
I've
That's
saw
a more
Nick play
recent
that
one,
at
though,
his
right?
house. Yeah.
It's recent-ish. I want to say as of like 2010-ish.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
the first
wanna-
one came out.
I want to say when I was living completely alone in a hovel, I had it on 24/7. There was no one around to stop me.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's definitely like the times in my life where I get too into that game are definitely the worst times, and that's just like a sign of like you need to like clean up and shave, and, like, take
Yeah.
a bath and stop playing Cookie
Find a
Clicker.
different dopamine stimulant. Yeah.
The game's kind of like
Yeah.
a proto TikTok, constant distraction, constant interaction.
Right.
And aren't you constantly like being rewarded because your cookies keep getting
Yeah, you keep getting more of them.
consumed? Yeah.
Yeah, you get billions, trillions, quadrillions of cookies.
Mhm. We love numbers.
Yeah.
Can't
Certainly a lot of them.
can't ignore that. Right on.
I don't know if some of these are necessarily like Flash, but
I mean,
again,
early
just going-
internet gaming. Yeah.
yeah,
totally.
going with the theme of like like I can play this, it's on the internet and it's free. I was definitely like addicted to like RuneScape and Maple
Okay.
Story
Okay.
in high school.
Didn't play RuneScape, but I played a good amount of Maple Story as a child.
Yeah,
Hilariously,
I had
my
friends-
younger brother still plays. It's crazy.
there's still people that play them, which is crazy to me. But I definitely had friends that like played like World of Warcraft, and it's like I will never play that game because it costs money, and so I'll
Yeah.
just
Exactly.
The concept of that was so like
right.
egregious.
And
Think
bullet
about-
dodge on that one. Holy shit. When I see people now talking about Final Fantasy 14, it's like insane. It's like talking to aliens. The things that they say to me, the shit they spew, it's fucking nuts.
What, like it only takes 100 hours to get good for it to get good to start?
Not even that. I mean, that is part of it. There's that. There's like, it's free up until, the
Level
entertaining
60.
part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit.
There's that. And then it's like, the real fun part isn't even the game. It's socially networking and finding people you can go to conventions with who are, I assume, exactly what you would expect them to be like.
That was my least favorite part of like MMORPGs. People would be like, hello, and I would just like, no, I gotta cut wood down. I gotta level up my timber building abilities. I can't be
You don't
talking-
want to.
Exactly.
You don't want to role play in this massively multiplayer online
No, man,
setting.
because you're playing with a bunch of 10-year-olds, and I'm 13, and that's a little uncool. So, like,
It's true.
Yeah, best case scenario 10, worst case scenario in the
40?
mid 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah, 40s. I have a very distinct memory of my geometry teacher playing RuneScape every day in class after putting a video on.
a little disturbing.
That's the
I'm
life.
sad. I'm
Yeah.
sad for him.
A small town math teacher playing RuneScape during class. I guess he's getting paid. Maybe he's winning.
I would
And
say
we're
he's
the fools.
actually winning. I would say he's actually based and rune pilled.
I like that. Sorry. Got
No,
my
that's
throat.
okay.
Yeah. Did you guys ever play the Fancy Pants adventure games?
Yeah,
Did you play
that's
that?
on
Of
my
course.
list. I was gonna say, yeah.
That was another one that also made the jump. It got a full retail release on the Xbox Live Arcade
Right.
in like the late 2000s, which was kind of cool. Always enjoyed that one.
I also will say I love that like so many of these games, just going off of my list, there was like a Smash Bros clone. There
Oh,
was
Super Smash Flash.
there was Super Mario 63.
What was that one?
Um that was just they just ripped Mario sprites off of like Mario World and
Oh
then just
yeah, that
made
was a
like
big.
it was like 64, but it was like 16-bit or whatever. It was like 2D instead of 3D. There was that. There were like the one thing I do miss about early internet when it was better is you could just like take properties like that and just use them, and people would be like, "Can we do this?" And people would be like, I don't know, no, but
Mhm.
Yeah,
here, play it."
no
And
one's
it was
stopping me.
fine.
Yeah, it's the last days of the Wild West.
Right. You're gonna
Yeah.
have Miyamoto personally showing up to your house to blast you in the skull.
Nintendo Assassins. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I remember on Newgrounds there was a game called like Newgrounds Simulator, where you would basically. And as I'm saying this, I'm realizing this is like how kids now probably want to play the YouTuber life kind of games, like, oh, make videos and become famous. But this was like make Flash games and animations and become Newgrounds Notorious.
Nice. I
It
think
wasn't
I
even.
remember this one.
Yeah, and your room was like a disgusting hovel with sweatpants and shit on the floor. And it would rank things like, oh, stick animation, the lowest form of animation, very likely to be bland. And then like the pinnacle was like sprite animation. This is perfect. Even if it sounds and looks like shit, no one's gonna delete this baby. Like that was
Wow.
the peak, the apex of creation.
Yeah.
Right. That is so much cooler though than like, it has that lived in feel of like, yeah, like the sweatpants on the ground and your room's a mess and there's like a pizza box or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like there's the tiers of
Classic.
it. And it's like, yeah, the idea of looking up to be like a YouTuber or a TikToker is just like, that sucks, man.
Mhm.
So what?
Right.
You and your 20 closest friends can rent a mansion and crash a
Slowly
fucking
hate each other.
Lamborghini. One of
Yeah,
them dies
exactly.
at the age
Do
of
something
16.
horrible. Mhm.
Yeah. Best case scenario, you turn into the Jackass Crew 2.
Right.
Jackass 2. Yeah. Let's see what else we got? Super Meat Boy, we kind of brought up earlier. That was a Flash game originally, yeah.
I think
I
so.
think
It
I can't remember if it was a full on
Graduated.
game or if it was just a demo.
It might have been a demo.
I'd believe that. Did you guys
Because
ever
I did-
play like oh no, go on.
I was gonna say I did watch that indie game, The Movie. I watched that in college.
Oh.
Actually, I took a class in gaming.
Nice.
I
Got
was
some
a-
college credit for gaming.
I was a communications major, and like that is a platform upon which that is a platform upon which people communicate, and so they were like, yeah, we're doing like college. It was like a 300 or 400 level class, so it was legitimate.
Mhm.
Sure. It was also my
I
senior
paid money
year, and it was
for it,
kind
so
of
it
it
was
was kind of a
legit.
blow off class, but we
Yeah.
did watch Indie Game the movie, and I remember them talking about like oh, it has to be ready for release on Sunday or whatever, because they were releasing to the Xbox store or whatever the fuck.
I know
So I
exactly
think
what you're talking
was, yeah.
about. I mean, my college had a history of ice cream and a copy making class, so I feel like a
Oh.
gaming class is right along those lines.
Yeah. Mine had the history of rock and roll. That's so funny. There's just like these weird
Wow, that's epic.
niche
Chapter
classes to
1,
take.
Elvis, the life and death.
Like the death of this thief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, college gets a lot of shit, but it's like this is how people actually like. If people are doing things, why wouldn't you study them? You know, if people are playing video games, why would we not do studies on video games? You know,
Now, the Japanese have a very good insight on this. I believe that they say if you're not good at something immediately, the second you try it, don't bother ever trying again. You're a failure. If you're not a genius, there's no point in pursuing anything.
that's a lot of people I know that do that. So yeah,
Oh, they're adopting the Japanese philosophy. How enlightened
Oh, yeah.
of them.
When
Over
I
here.
found out I was good at fighting games, just like kind of good, I was like, thank God, finally a reason to go on.
All right. Shall we move on to questions, or do we have we got more insights about our time spent
That's-
We've got questions about Flash games as well,
We
but
do, yeah. Or if you wanted to talk about Sage, because that
all right,
happened as well.
yeah, the Sonic. Well,
Because I will
Sage
say,
is the natural progression of the whole indie game thing, or I guess indie
yeah,
games in general are the natural progression of Flash games. Individuals wanting to make something that is what they want to play, and it's purely their vision.
mhm.
Not necessarily all indie games. I feel like a lot of things that are called indie games
No,
now,
indie is like losing meaning
right?
in this day and age.
It's indie in that it didn't take 8 years and it didn't
Yeah,
have a
exactly.
$1 billion budget. It's indie because it's not Call of Duty. I don't really think that's
Hmm.
quite the same.
Totally.
But like I don't know if you watched the Stage trailer, but there were games on there like Wario's Sexy RPG Chapter 2, and it used all sprites right from Wario Land 4. Like that's something
Mhm.
I'd like to play. That's
Yeah,
something that
it's
looks interesting.
the Sonic Amateur Games Expo. And Nick, sent us a link, and I went to the website, and I was surprised. It's so reminiscent of those early, Flash game websites. Like it's a portal, like Addicting Games. Or if you
Uh,
go to like the demo tab, you just have all these projects, which is very cool to see. We do
it's
love indie gaming over here.
oh yeah, Pizza Tower. I didn't get a start there, but they were featured. I think the 2019 Sage Expo.
Yeah, it is very cool.
So it's not just funny little shit posts. Some real quality stuff is there too.
Yeah, and it's not all like Sonic assets, right? I was confused at first. It was just
No,
going to
no,
exclusively be.
they also rip Nintendo game assets.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
That's keeping the spirit alive. I love it, frankly.
Yep.
And that's that.
All right, yeah. On the questions.
On to questions.
All right, let's go.
All right,
Okay.
let's see. We got
Yeah, first off,
from Bonk.
yeah, I'm actually shocked. You got more questions, I think, than anyone else ever.
People want to
Take that,
engage
Kevin.
with Grant.
Yeah.
He gets the good video. He gets the good questions. It's fucked up.
I
frankly.
win.
Yeah, you got actual questions
Yeah.
about you, not even about your opinions
true.
on things, so they can
Mhm.
pretend to care. So that's how you know it's
Whoa.
real. Yeah, what's the first one, Sam, if you don't mind?
Yeah, he says, cool guy. What's it like working with Alex Schultz from Be Nice to Me Productions?
Yes. I think there was like a part 2 to that question, wasn't there?
The part two is
he
you
just
have
says
been
it.
in them, and I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you. I do appreciate you watching.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What was
Alex
the part you
has,
wrote about being a fan of me? Could you read that?
yeah. Alex has one of I think one of my favorite YouTube channels ever. I don't know
Mhm.
ever. I can't remember all the other YouTube channels that I like. So I put an asterisk, but one of my favorite YouTube channels ever, and he's a Chicago guy, and so we've teamed up with him a couple times. He's been on Thought Cops a number of times, and also we've been in a couple of his videos. I don't know if he still lives in Chicago, but yeah, I was in the social media manager video part 2, which was less of a video and more of a short film that's about 45 minutes long.
Wow.
Which is worth checking out. Be Nice to Me Productions, if anyone wants to look
Yeah.
up. The first video is 5 minutes long. The second video is a sequel of like 45 minutes.
Link in the
But
description.
they're
we
both
go.
very good, very talented person, and it's weird. Either he's very well aware of how talented he is and he just doesn't want people to know that he knows, or he has no idea, because I'd always like ask him very specific questions and he would just like not have answers for. I'd just be like, yeah, there's certain videos that he's made has like they'll have like an emotional depth to them that you wouldn't really think you would find in certain ones, where it's just like these feelings of like alienation and like loneliness and shit like that, and just like heartbreak and shit like that, and it's like it's done through this surrealist lens, and you'd just be like, yeah, like what gave you the idea for this? And you go, I don't know. And I'd be like, what the fuck? Like,
Do you
dude,
not know? Yeah.
Like I just
so
want
cool.
to talk to you about this and pick your brain, and he would just like be like, yeah, I just wrote it and
Just
we
came to me,
filmed it,
man.
and yeah, I don't know, and it'd
Wow.
just be like,
Have you ever seen that
He's
that
keeping these secrets
interview
from you.
with David Lynch
maybe,
where that guy's like, "Where'd you get the inspiration for Eraserhead?" And he'd be like, "I don't want to talk about it."
yeah, yeah. It's maybe similar to that. I don't think Alex has like a thing where he like refuses to talk about it because we've had him on our podcast and we've asked him about it. But there is like a certain level of genius there that I feel like I don't know how to describe it. I don't know if he.
It's
I
that
think
quality.
Yes.
for some people, you find the thing you like doing, and you make so much of it, and then you just know what you want to make, and you don't really maybe think about it all that much, which is crazy to me as another type of creative person that is constantly thinking about like how do I make this smarter, like I'm writing a book right now and I'm just constantly thinking like, is this smart enough? Are people gonna get it? Are people gonna understand it? And he's over here just being like, yeah, I don't know, do the thing where I flash the lights again and it'll be like really jarring, and then I'll stick a screwdriver in my eyeball and that'll be the story. And it's like, that's how did you do that?
Yeah.
Like a Salvador Dali. He's got the spirit of the samurai. He's just a
Yeah.
natural.
There's a purity
Right.
to it. Totally.
I think he
that
also
is
he
really
went to
cool.
like filmmaking school too, so fuck him.
Well,
But
that would
there's
help, yeah.
also he I think one of my favorite / least favorite experiences with doing anything with him was we recorded one where he does a lot of videos where it's like a surrealist version of like working in an office.
Okay.
I think he just doesn't like working in offices. And one of them, he like asked me like months before shooting, he was like, hey, do you want to be in a video and you take off your shirt and you like beat me up and then you like drag my girlfriend out of the room or something like that? And I was like, yeah, I'll do that. And so,
yeah,
but,
sign
like,
me up.
but I'm not like good with like, I'm not showboaty and shit like that. And I like you work in the fitness industry for however long, and if you don't do like steroids and if you're around like jacked people all the time, you get like body dysmorphia. And so I'm like, I gotta like lose weight and I gotta cut and I gotta look up like bodybuilder diets and shit like that and like really try and just like slim down as much as I can, but like bulk up as much as I can at the same time. Let me do like self tanner and shit like that. And then he would just use me in shots where I would be standing in the back of the room just like flexing just for no reason.
It's like, you look great on camera.
Man. I get that. I definitely get that. I mean, the only reason I even exercise is so I can cosplay. So 100%, I think we're on the same page.
At this point, I just do it because I feel better,
I should
Helps
start
me
doing it to
sleep at
feel
night.
better. Yeah.
I'll feel better, I think, when I look like younger Tagoro.
Yes.
Fair.
Yeah. Once you get the haircut,
Yeah.
I'm in my 30s at this point, and like I have a lot of friends that are in their 30s, and they're like, "Oh, my back, it's when you're 30, your back goes out," and I'm like, I feel great. I just fuck you and your back problems. I don't give a shit. You should lift. Do some RDLs. Do some lifts. Do some like strengthen your back. Don't just say, "Oh, I'm old." You're not old. You're 30.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Plenty
For
of opportunity.
those who don't know, the gamers in the audience who've never touched a weight, RDL stands for Romanian deadlift.
Right.
Which is
Wow.
where you make your knees explode by lifting very heavy weights very quickly.
One joke that I tend to gravitate towards is that it's like a deadlift, but it's in reverse, much like everything else Romanians do. But I have to be careful because I never know like which of my clients are Romanians, and
I take a lot of offense to that as a half
You'll
Romanian
know,
myself.
Yeah, if they're drinking blood and dancing on water and stuff like that, that's how I think you'll know they're Romanian.
Right, turning into bats.
Yeah, voiced by Phil Lamar.
Yes.
So yeah, I hope that answers your question about Alex Schultz and Be Nice to Me Productions.
He's a genius. He's a Lynchian
That's a cool insight,
samurai. with a touch of Tony Zaretz is essentially what you said.
I don't know if I know who Tony Zaret is. I feel like I've seen him pop up a number of times, and I never really checked out anything that he does.
He's the guy. He's like it doesn't matter.
Oh, whatever.
All
We're
right.
not talking about him.
We're talking about Alex.
Yeah, exactly.
We're talking about me. What's
Yeah.
the next question?
Do we
Right.
want to take Hugh's question?
Yeah, after that very serious and genuine question from a genuine fan, Hugh Man asks, "What would you do if Nintendo announced gay Mario 64?"
Gay
Yeah.
Luigi?
There you go. He's made an appearance.
He's been waiting.
Incredible, yeah.
I grabbed that out of my closet because I knew that was coming, so I just
Wow.
wanted to.
Well, we appreciate it.
Y'all remember Gay Luigi, the YouTube poop?
Of course, yeah, we should have spent an hour talking about that. Fuck.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah.
Well,
I
next
love
time.
YouTube poop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
when we
well,
do
I
our
mean, maybe we'll have
revisit
both of you on. Perhaps if there's a Nintendo Direct, so I can have an excuse to have you and Kevin back on again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, our Nintendo gamers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never do anything. I just sit in this room with all blank walls with no decorations on
It's
them.
crazy.
I just-
When you were talking about Mr. Schultz, you started like glowing, like the white balance on your camera.
Yeah.
You started,
Oh,
like,
really?
You're
And
glowing
the
a
joy.
radiant light, yeah, as you were speaking so highly of this man. It was awesome.
Weird.
Yeah. The gloom dissipated momentarily.
Yeah, because I just moved into this place, and so there's no like lighting. I haven't set up any lighting or anything. It's just blank, and
Mhm.
so whatever.
Yeah, you gotta get some posters,
Yeah,
man.
get some Bratz
Yeah.
posters. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe not that one, but maybe a different one.
Next question.
Next question.
It's not really a question. Live review of Kramer's Hentai Adventure. This classic Newgrounds game.
Classic goon. So I was actually thinking about this earlier today. I was like, are we gonna
Kramer?
no, not this.
Kramer or Hentai?
Essentially, like, would we be talking about like the 18 plus content on like Newgrounds and stuff?
I never looked
You
at
never
any of
engaged?
that.
Oh, of course. Never mind. Of course.
Don't be ridiculous. Come on, man. That stuff's nasty. Ew.
Right, I thought I was looking at like a couple of meat and fuck lore masters. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
No, I got. Let me. All right, no one's in the house.
I would venture into those types of things, and I never got it. It's like you can just go to like there's porn on the internet. I don't get anything out of like a weird like
Flash
sexually
animation of-
graphic
Yeah.
like whatever the
See,
fuck.
but when
like,
you're a child and you don't know what the porn sites are.
Yeah, and then
You
you see
only know
Superman and
Newgrounds.
Sailor Moon. You don't know what to think. Your whole
it's like
world's
the-
turned upside
the
down.
Spider-Man and Elsa shit on YouTube.
Yeah, Spider-Man impregnating Elsa.
Jesus.
Yeah, kids today, they don't know. They're getting
We're
confused
all
by all the wrong
same.
stuff. Back in my day, we saw Goku reaming at Sailor Moon. By God, we liked it.
Yeah, the last episode we did of Thought Cops, we had Max from SBN3 on that made the Class of '09 game, and we were talking to him because it's like a dating sim game, or like more specifically, it's like a rejection sim game. But it was like, yeah, I was talking to him, and I'm like, I remember there being like dating sim games and shit like that, and I like out of like curiosity you like click one and you're like, let me just see what this is about, and it's like, oh, this sucks.
Yeah.
This is
There's no immediate gratification. in these
right.
games.
It's just like I
What the
guess
hell am I
some
doing?
people this tickles some part of their brain, but like I can't fucking like
Hey, man.
even if it's a
They were-
joke,
They were fun for their time. Come on. I thought I really had a connection with
With
Hikari
Pico.
or whatever the fuck her name was.
right. Even some of the joke ones, like the Kramer one, I remember seeing that and being like, "Oh, that's funny," and then just
Yeah.
like closing out of the window. I don't care.
Well, it was crazy for me because I didn't know who Kramer was, but I knew what hentai was at the time. So I was like, "Well, who's this Kramer guy?" I'm so intrigued by the Kramer aspect. What could this be about?
Who's this Larry David character?
Yeah.
Then you found the video of him saying the N word.
Ah,
You know what's
why would I?
Why is this
You know
always
what's
get-
why
so
would
funny?
This guy be
Is they actually released a game after he retired the series as a direct response to Kramer blowing up at the Laugh Factory, where I think Kramer's trying to get his what is his public is respect of the public back, and I don't think it
Mhm.
works out in the end.
Well, who would have thought? Who would have thought? All right.
Rest in peace, Kramer.
Rest
Well,
in
who can?
peace.
Not that I have that many memories of that series. Not that I.
All right.
Anyways,
DDD Pizzaron wants to know how we feel about Charles Martinet no longer being the voice of Mario. I don't know if you saw this
he
headline.
was
Grant.
closed out. There's no
Yeah.
way he.
Yeah, the man would like never do it unless they threatened to kill his family or something. From
I
what
think even if they
understand.
did, he would keep doing it.
I don't know. I don't like conjecturing about this type of shit because I feel like this will be announced and then people will be like, oh, fuck Nintendo, whatever. And then like 3 months later, he could just like mysteriously pass away and then everyone just feels like a fucking asshole.
Man, I can't
And it's
believe
just
it.
like, I don't know. Shit that happens behind closed doors, I'm just like never all that interested in because it's like, I don't want to have that on my conscience of
Yeah.
being like,
In
fuck
fairness,
him, fuck
though, like,
you,
Yeah.
what
If you voice Mario, you say Wahoo. You know, like it's
That's
for
fine.
30 he's been wahooing for 30 years.
Yeah,
Hang
I
on.
mean,
Not
yeah.
only that, he's been wahooing, he's been wahing, he's been oh my godding. He's all four of them, you know.
All right. I'm just saying, you know.
And not for nothing, I did meet the guy at a convention, so I think I know a little bit more
Okay.
about him.
Uh-huh.
You guys,
Oh,
okay?
you're right then, yeah.
Yeah,
He did sign your 3DS. I
he
remember.
did sign my 3DS, which means that we are now close personal friends.
Yeah. I guess, yeah. If we really don't want to speculate on it, we can move on.
I mean,
didn't
whatever
have-
you guys can. I don't
I don't have super
purified
strong
soul
feelings.
So
for the
yeah,
afterlife.
me, Sam, and Grant all agree that
All
Nintendo
agree,
is forcing him out, and we should do something about it.
On behalf of our friend, our close personal friend, Charles Martinet, we're gonna get him that job back.
Yeah,
I don't want it back.
We're
Please
making him
stop.
say that. We're making him say that.
you're not their puppet anymore, Charles.
Yeah, right. So
you are actually, but
he's
I
an
mean,
ambassador now. You know,
That's
whatever
actually
that
what we're
means.
trying to make you be, but you
Yeah.
know,
All right, Grant. As a Smash Brothers fan, do you play any of the clones? Have you played any of the Smash Bros. Clones?
oh, you mean like the Nicktoons
Exactly.
fighter game or Garfield Wars or
Jump
whatever
onto
the
that
fuck?
segue. Yeah.
No, I've never played any of them.
Okay. Are you open to it? To the concept of it? Does it just disgust you? Or like that is
It's
garbage?
fine. I mean, it was kind of weird when Velma called the police on LeBron, but other than that,
Epic.
yeah, see that.
yeah, other than that, no, I don't care. It just whatever. I don't
Okay.
even play Smash Bros as much as I would like to, but I would like to play more of it. I've been stuck in Zelda. I've been in Zelda mode for the past 3 months. So.
Okay. Tears of the Kingdom. Give us like your quick
Yeah.
like 1 minute review. What do you think? Better
Oh,
than
I think
Breath of
it's
the Wild?
yeah.
All right.
And
There it
1
is.
minute.
I mean,
I don't know. It's bigger. It's like 2.5 times bigger
I
than
did
Breath
not
of the Wild.
expect
There's
the underground like to
yeah,
be so
no one
vast.
did. They didn't say
Yeah.
anything. They were like, you can go in the sky, and everyone's like, so it's like Skyward Sword, and they're like, and also you can go underground, and everyone's like,
Holy shit. Yeah.
But yeah, it's good. I feel like I ruin video games for myself because there's like the compendium, and I'm just like, I gotta take pictures of all the butterflies.
Mhm.
That flower, I didn't take a picture of that flower yet. Oh, look, this enemy's beating the shit out of me. Doesn't matter. I gotta take a
snap
picture
a
of
photo
them.
first.
And
yeah.
like, you can just buy the pictures, but that feels like cheating.
Mm.
And so I
It
just
is.
I did the same thing with what the fuck that Pokemon Arceus Legends that came out.
Mhm.
I was just like, I gotta check off all the little checkmark things, and it's like, I don't enjoy playing this anymore. I kind of ruined it for myself.
Yeah.
So I need to take frequent breaks from Zelda and then come back to it. I'm at the Fire Temple right now. I've only beaten one of the fucking temples, and I'm just walking around taking pictures of
That's
flowers
fair,
like a
dude.
fucking idiot.
Ah, experience it at your own pace, but certainly.
Yeah,
I
there's just so
understand.
there's so many side quests and so many
Yeah.
fucking
The compulsion to
things
do
and
it.
so much
Yeah.
shit to do.
The completionist mindset. Yeah, will really get the
Yeah.
better of you.
Although at the same time, like I think my girlfriend 100%ed it, and I'm like nowhere. I'm like
That's crazy.
a third of the way
That's
to where
crazy.
she is, and I'm just like I'm never gonna beat it. I don't know. I feel bad about it. I feel guilty.
Mhm.
As
It
you
weighs
should.
heavily upon my conscience.
Yeah.
Completion's no joke. I still haven't 100% in Katamari, or no, we love Katamari, and it's
Yeah.
weighing down on me severely.
Keeps you up at night.
It does.
Yeah. All right. Somehow going back to our question, all the way back to the Smash Bros. Clones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Thoughts on Jimmy Neutron being announced? Is that like an early 2000s property you have any attachment to? You're a little older than Nick and I, it seems. So I
Yeah,
guess
the
you weren't
gray
really.
hair. Yeah.
No, you just sort of didn't say like demographic for like Jimmy fucking Neutron. You know,
Yeah,
over
Jimmy
there.
Neutron, I fucking hated. That was
Good.
garbage. I
Yeah.
can't believe that they were like, "Hey, we got this movie called Jimmy Neutron," and everyone was like,
Finally.
"Fuck that!
Mhm.
Get it out of my face!" They
You guys
look
didn't
horrible.
watch
Some
it in
vitriol, some
And
hatred.
then not only did they do a movie, after the movie, they were like, "Hey, you remember Jimmy Neutron?
Mhm,
He's a
yeah.
cartoon now," and it's like, get it away from me! I hate him.
Wow.
He's
I hate
hideous, isn't
Jimmy
he?
Neutron.
He's disgusting.
Is it his
He's
head? Is it
It's his head.
repulsive.
Everything
He's
about
like
him is
His
nasty.
weird shaped friends.
Wow. Anti-intelligentsia. Unbelievable.
Yeah, and
Jimmy
proud.
Neutron was the fucking like Big Bang Theory for like millennial children. Just like, well, it's not salt. It's fucking sodium chloride. It's sodium
Wow,
chloride.
yeah.
Like this isn't interesting. This isn't smart.
It's true. No one likes to know it all. I'm with you
Good.
guys. Let's pile it on. Fuck Jimmy Neutron.
I hate this stupid
Yeah,
big ass head.
yeah. All right. What was from our pal Jim from
Mhm.
Drink Beer, Play Game. What was the best Newgrounds dating sim, and why was it Gongoro Girl?
Maybe, probably, possibly the Naruto dating sim. I would say actually.
Grant,
you
any
played-
thoughts on this?
I have no thoughts. I don't remember playing.
Well,
it.
I don't have
remember
any
clicking
more
away
insights
from it.
either. Next one.
I mean, you can go off King if you'd like to.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
we got a minute and a half left before.
Well, you see, in the Naruto one, you play as Sakura, and you can choose Naruto, Rock Lee, or Sasuke. You see,
really,
and for me
taught
at the
a lot
time,
about
I was like, this makes sense because I don't like Sakura, but I think Rock Lee is cool, so I can go for him. And of course, there was no homosexual intent whatsoever in me playing this game.
This
It was
is like
purely to hang out with my friend Rock Lee.
Yeah, this is like that episode of Black Mirror where the two guys are like gaming together. And
Striking
having,
Vipers, yeah.
No
gay
wonder you hate fighting
sex,
games. You think it's
but-
like that.
Yeah, and
No
then,
wonder.
And then they're like, "Are we gay?" And then they kiss, and then they're like, "No,
We're
we're not
not.
gay.
We're not,
we just
dude.
love
We just like-
having video game sex with each other." It's just like that.
Just go play Second Life. They don't know anything about fighting games. God, Black Mirror. I was like indifferent to Black Mirror. That episode came out, like, this show sucks. This show sucks
Yeah.
ass.
It's been a dip in quality for
Yeah.
sure.
What if
Unfortunately,
you played Street Fighter and then
Oh,
you had
God.
sex with your mate?
And
You know?
you and your wife make an agreement that
Yeah,
once
one
month
night a
get
month
to
you could go.
fuck your friend inside of
sex with
Street
somebody,
Fighter.
I
Get
guess.
the fuck out of here.
That was
Oh
an
my
odd one.
God.
An odd one for
Stupid
sure.
fucking shit.
All right.
I get
shall
it.
we,
They're trying to do whatever, but like, be smarter than that.
Pick any other genre. I don't know.
Other than fighting, what do you want to see?
Pick
Master
literally-
Chief like
pick
start
Harvest
sucking
Moon.
dick?
Yeah, Harvest. Yeah, have Master Chief suck Arbiter's dick. I don't give a shit. Something I don't care about.
Yeah. All right. And after that bit of rage directed towards what were we talking about? Master
The
Chief
white-
sucking Arbiter's
The
cock.
Yeah,
White Christmas episode
Oh,
of
Black Mirror, yeah.
Black Mirror was, I think, probably good.
With John Hamm.
Yeah, the John Hamm
Oh.
episode.
Mhm.
The only guy, it's like, why is he talk American? None of them do. Only John Hamm does.
He's like
Weird.
irreparably American.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to. I don't want to hear John Hamm attempt a British
He was
accent.
Don Draper for too long. He can't be anything but American.
It'd be bad. All right. Our next question, as we move on. Bum 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 bum. Did we decide on a best Newgrounds dating sim? Oh yeah, the Naruto one.
The Naruto one.
Sure, I'll take your word for it.
All right. And now, a question from your co-host Kevin himself. It says, who is your favorite character in Street Fighter 3 Third Strike? Follow up, is it Hugo? Now,
I really like the character Hugo.
You just completely no-sold that. I can't believe you did that to me. Honestly, now that we got some more time, now that I'm worried about time constraints, just nothing. You didn't even try. I know you know who Ryu is. Come on, man.
Street Fighter 3.
My favorite of his signature moves is Harpo.
Harpo. I don't think I'm familiar with that one.
Yep.
What about you, Nick? Who's your favorite Street Fighter 3?
Next question. I'm smiling, but I'm not happy.
All right. Well,
correct answer is only to Street Fighter 3.
I'm pretty happy.
Turns out,
yes, my favorite because dramatically red. Said correct answer only. Yeah, my favorite character is Hugo. He's a big screaming idiot, just like I like him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I like that his character design was based off of.
Are you reading his Wikipedia article?
No,
I'm trying to recalling the knowledge.
I'm trying to remember what was in the Wikipedia article. He was based off of that guy, Andre the Giant was his name.
Of course, yes.
And he wore a purple leotard.
Yeah. And keen viewers, at the end of this video, will have a title card. And the image might even be a reference to a Hugo piece of artwork.
Hey, I go where Hugo.
There you go. Personally, I'm a Ken Masters fan myself. Any iteration, he's classic. Can't go wrong.
I like anyone with the purple stuff.
Always pick purple.
Always pick purple.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful.
Well, yeah, I'm shocked. Normally, we only have two questions, and they're like, "What if this game was gay?" Or "What if
we had one of those?
Mario was Luigi?"
We had those.
It was a nice change of pace, and I think we didn't even skip any of them as usual.
Mm-hmm. We weren't ashamed of our viewers and fans.
Yeah.
Our good friend Brandon Kirkman calls into our show quite frequently and asks us questions along the lines of what video game would we have sex with, or fuck, marry, kill, Wario, Waluigi, whatever. It's always, this is what he thinks about. These are real people in my life that I'm personally friends with that have these thoughts in their head, and they call into my show, and hundreds of people are, have to listen to it and have to listen to my response to it, which is not entertaining.
Really?
Brandon is the one who flushes the toilet, correct?
Yeah, he's the toilet flusher guy.
Okay. You see, Sam, there's a lot of inside lore.
Mm-hmm. At one of our live shows once, he brought a megaphone with that had a recording of a toilet flush, and he asked us a question from the audience and then flushed his megaphone toilet for all to hear.
Wow.
So
that's impressive.
There was no agreement for this. He just does that.
It's just a bit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that we're in the part that's going to be edited out, I feel like a lot of stuff happens in the live shows that weren't agreed on. Anyone you want to call out? Anyone you hate? Anyone you want to call out that you hate? This is Kobe we edited out.
He does his own show called Podzuki. It's a kaiju podcast. Last time I was on it, we reviewed what the Eddie Murphy movie where he was
Pluto Nash.
No,
which one?
The fucking one where he was Rudy. No, not Shrek. Man, My brain don't work
Eddie
so
Murphy,
good no more.
you
This
know,
is
Beverly Hills Cop 3.
I'm thinking of a movie where Eddie Murphy could be considered a kaiju in any way.
no, that's the whole gimmick is that it has nothing to do with kaiju.
Fuck.
Uh,
False
fucking
advertising.
Dynamite is my name. What the fuck is that movie? I can't. I'm
Dolomite.
Dolomite.
Dolomite is my fucking name. I can't.
That was
That's a
actually
new
not
one.
bad. I saw that in
Yeah.
theaters.
His
It was
return to
good.
form, as some say.
It was good. It
Wow.
was definitely a return to form. Yeah, I spent all of last week moving, so my gears don't grind so good
Well,
right now.
Hey, we're glad you
Classic.
took the time to
Hard
be on
time
the show
remembering
today.
simple nouns.
But you do remember what Peter says, and that's what matters.
Yeah. Hey, that's locked and loaded. That'll never go away.
Right on. All right. As we approach the end of today's episode, or I feel like as we are, unless you guys have any closing thoughts on anything that we've kind of talked about today, from Gamescom to Y2K Flash games, you know. But if we're all good, then
I would like it if I liked games again. I don't know. But then I wouldn't be funny.
it was indie gaming before indie gaming, right? It's like really
led
what
directly
that
into
was. Yeah. And I think it's cool to have lived, you know, during this point in time where like you see this evolution from like games that you play on the computer screen to actual console releases.
Where it goes from kids being like, "Oh, my uncle works in Nintendo," to "My uncle is Toby Fox."
Yeah, exactly. And I think that like, you know, we touched upon it earlier, like the problem with the games of today not feeling like they used to. I think it's just too many fingers in the pie, right? It's no longer not
We
to
need to
prove anything.
Fire! Sorry, delete
Yeah.
edit me saying the word fire. We
We'll
need
censor
to
it,
Yeah.
we need to do something really funny to Silicon Valley.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
It's just we can't keep doing this shit can't keep you can't these people can't be dictating our lives, our hobbies,
Wow.
selling our information to the government.
Changing the name of Twitter. I mean, the list goes on.
Truly.
Oh man, don't fucking get me started on that shit. Every time that comes up on Thought Cops, I'm like, I don't want to talk about Elon Musk today.
Yeah,
But did
no,
you
thank
see
you.
the thing that he said about Mark Zuckerberg and the whole when they're going to fight each other? And it's really funny because he tweeted, and it's just like, why I don't need any of this. This is making me.
My life is no longer.
You'll never
mentally
believe
ill.
this. He did something dumb and annoying. No, I
Actually,
don't.
he's a genius. So,
All right, the Wario sketch on SNL was really a comedy masterclass.
truly.
As we were talking about things that used to be better, you know, when we were younger, I was thinking about Gamescom and I was thinking about Starfield and kind of just Bethesda's releases. Did you ever play the Elder Scrolls series at all, Grant? Or
No,
I
would like to.
Okay.
But I didn't. So
Don't believe the hype. Morrowind sucks.
No way. Morrowind, you can play Morrowind in such a cool way.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Modern age.
Such a
know
cool
what that
way.
one is, but
It's
what's
the third one.
What's the one that came out that was the more recent one that everyone was
Skyrim?
like, oh,
Skyrim.
no.
Or
Maybe
Vegas?
I'm thinking of something different.
right?
Fallout 4?
No.
Fallout 6?
I don't know any. Forget it.
What's that game
all
that
good.
came out?
What's
It's
that game?
I think it's called Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Yeah, that one. Not good.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to see if you had any specific
No, I have
memories
no.
of like
I have no.
the older ones. What about you, Nick? Do you have like a really fond Oblivion memory?
Oh yeah, definitely killing random people and playing like GTA, I would say. I still enjoy it. I like making a really fucked up, nasty freak who looks disgusting. And then Patrick Stewart says a bunch of shit to you.
in my dreams.
Yeah. And then, just going out and making everyone's life really miserable is always really funny to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
kind of like
I feel like-
Postal.
I feel like with we kind of talked about it earlier too. I'm like remembering all this shit that I was thinking while you guys were talking. But
That's
like-
you just got to cut in. You just say things over people and then just
I'm unloading
I'm
everything at
talking
the
now,
end.
yeah.
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 Just I feel like we talk about how you're talking about like in the 90s, programmers just did it to do it, right? Because they had an idea. They
Yeah.
didn't care about how it would be received.
They were just nerds, and everyone shits
Yeah.
on nerds, but nerds like make the fucking universe go around. And the
And I feel
problem is
like
that not
there's not
enough
enough of
nerds are,
that
yeah,
happening.
given
Well,
like fucking a voice.
to their credit, I feel like for every genius who makes, Undertale or Lisa, there's 99 who make diaper inflation.
Sure. Sure.
I think they're fine being silenced. They can keep the pacifier in.
Yeah, some of them.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, games are just too big now, there's too much money riding on them, which is
Yeah,
a boring take, but
it's
it's so true.
it's the same as the cinema. It's an investment. It's not a
Mhm.
art project. It's not a
Yeah.
passion project. It's something you put money in, and they fully expect to get double or more money out.
That's
And
why I'm
that,
writing a book right now. I just look at all these things that I could be doing and I go, I don't want to do that. That's too much politics. You know what the world doesn't need more of right now? Politics. I'm just going to take the stupid shit that's inside of my brain and I'm just going to spew it onto a page, and then maybe somebody will be like, "Oh, that's cool. I'm going to make a movie out of it." And I'll go, "Yeah, good. You do it. I don't want to do it. You fucking do it. You make the video game.
there you go.
I'm
So,
the ideas guy. Okay, I'm the genius. I'm the one with the ideas. You
Mhm.
you make the ideas. Go get me my
You're
coffee.
you're a doer. You do
You're
things.
Willy
Yeah.
Wonka. They're the Oompa Loompa.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
The
Yeah.
cheap
You're
orange
Timothy
slave labor.
Chalamet, and
Yeah.
Minus the whole like problematic nature of the fact that the Oompa Loompas were originally essentially pygmies, which
It's
is kind of
fine.
uncomfortable. But
Great
you
movie
know,
though.
aside
Gene,
from
Gene
that,
Wilder, we love him. Yeah.
man, what a sad thing for Gene Wilder's so great, and just for them to do these things that they're doing with these fucking Willy Wonka.
I will say,
Yeah,
Grant, I
it's
think one of the first clips I saw of your show with Kevin was you like shitting on Timothy Chalamet. That is
Yeah,
very enjoyable.
He's a child. Why? He's not a grown man.
So funny.
You
It
can't
was the worst
pretend to be.
part of that Wes Anderson film, The French Dispatch. Now bring it back to art house
I just
subjects.
define it by the rules of nature. If I'm older than Timothy Chalamet, I can beat him in a fist fight. That's just nature.
I thought you were gonna start talking about Metal Gear.
Oh no, Rising? I wish.
Yeah.
Like, I don't hate Timothy Chalamet. You just can't tell
You
me
can
that
hate
he's
him.
an
hate
adult
him.
man. Like, he did good in Dune, because in Dune, what's his name?
Paul is a child.
Paul is a 15-year-old.
Yeah.
It's like a coming of age story, and I'm like, yeah, that's what a kid looks like. And then they're like, he's 30, and I'm like, no, I'm 30. I have gray hair.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty
it's-
sure Timothy Chalamet is 95. I think we're the same.
He's
birth year.
95. You're
1995.
How many
95
fucking
years
Korean
old.
force can be injected?
Whoa.
It's the spice melange, dude. He became Paul Atreides. All right.
Oh yeah. Well, on
With
that
that.
note,
Yeah.
Grant, do you want to plug perhaps your article or books?
Yeah, a book's not going to be out for another 6 to 10 years. But articles, yeah. If you go to Grant Mooney what's the name of that website called?
GrantMooney.fuck. You heard it here,
You heard
folks.
it here.
All right.
You heard it here. Grant Mooney what's it? Substack.substack.com. You can read 2 of the worst things ever committed to paper. And I'm trying to write like essays. I don't know if anybody knows who Ian Svenonius is. He's this punk rock guy that wrote a couple of books, and they're very weird, wacky books, but they're written in sort of like a serious manner, but they're not serious, but you sort of like toe the line or whatever. So I wrote 2 articles. One of them's about public toilet infrastructure and why it calls for a communist revolution in the United States.
Oh, hell
And
yeah.
one of them is about how men aren't funny.
What?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That pisses me off, man. What the hell?
That was kind of the point, but I also, it's very long. It's like a 30-minute long read, and I figured most people aren't going to read. Most people don't read things anymore. Most people just like scroll through things on their phone, like your TikTok. Every website's like TikTok now, right? Everything's TikTok or Reels or Shorts or whatever. No one wants to sit and actually read things because it's boring. So if you write an article that's highly inflammatory, but you put a lot of thought into it, people can't really give you shit because they don't want to like pull quotes, because it's like, what am I gonna scroll through this and like actually
the
read
strategies.
it? Like, fuck no.
Your title made me mad, but I'm not going to read it.
Good, thank you. So if you don't want to read it, Grant Mooney dot I just said
Substack.
Man, I'm really fucking losing it. Substack. GrantMooney.substack.com. Also, Thought Cops on all platforms: YouTube, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher. You can follow us on X.com. We're on Blue Sky. I think I'm just Grant Mooney on everything. Grant Mooney on Twitter. Grant Mooney on... it's like _Grant_Mooney on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. I got a okay following on TikTok. I think that's just Grant.Mooney.
The Zoomers love you.
They do. I don't know why, but
they see your lean frame and they're like, yeah, this guy looks like a leader.
I gotta stitch that.
I'll stitch a video of like some boomer saying some stupid shit, and I'll be like, hey, shut the fuck up, die. And then people are like
yeah, this is my guy.
Why don't we think of that?
Yeah, you can't say that type of shit on TikTok. You'll get kicked out. But you can say it in so many words, and I do. So,
well,
everything else is just Thought Cops, specifically the YouTube channel. We put a decent amount of effort into our videos, and we would like to continue making more of them for as long as we can, much like Charles Martinet. For as long as we're alive, we're going to keep making Thought Cops. So
wonderful.
You say that now, down the line.
Yeah, I say that
now.
With
a heavy heart, I am announcing I will be the Thought Cops ambassador.
Yeah. And,
I'm the ambassador sheriff.
Our producer Zwick will take over the show, and you're not going to want to listen to Thought Cops after he takes over. That's going to be a fucking nightmare.
Right on. Well, wonderful. Thank you so much, Grant, for coming on.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Sorry if I leaned a little too heavily into awkward silences. They're my favorite.
No, it's fine.
I figured.
I have a psychopathic, like, I derive pleasure from
the discomfort of silence.
Yeah, and just like when I listen, like the things that people don't want to listen to, I almost listen to them more, and I derive like a pleasure from that. And like I've like done like open mic comedy and shit in the past, and a lot of people will say, oh, I don't like going to those because if someone's like bad, it makes me uncomfortable. And that's my favorite thing, is like when someone's like bad at comedy, and when they like stumble through things, and when like they like take a second to like look at their phone and shit like that, I'm like, yes, I love this. And people are like, I'm so uncomfortable, and I want to feel that at all points in time. Wow. Even, because some people, they do the whole like anti-comedy thing where they're like, I'm gonna check my phone. And it's like, no, fuck you. Don't do that. It's not funny when you do it.
It's insincere.
Genuine.
Yeah. It's the depth of sincerity as well, I think, is a huge issue today.
I mean, bad is better than mediocre, I think. I think I'd much rather see someone sweating a puddle and floundering rather than someone go up with a decent amount of confidence and say, so I was on Tinder the other day. You guys hear about this? Any of you guys hear about this Tinder thing? So
or there's so many ways people can do easy laughs, and I hate it. And I would notice this too, like, because it's easy to like, you tell a bad joke and then you save it by like, I meant for that to be bad. And it's just like, just tell the bad joke and just fucking like sit with it.
Live with
funny.
it.
Live with it.
Yeah.
Because you can always save it by going, guess you guys didn't like that one. Like no one wants to hear that. It's bad. You can do that maybe once.
In your
whole entire
career.
life, you got one. If you blow it, you don't get any more. So
certainly. Wonderful.
So that's it. I got nothing else. That's all.
All right.
Well, it was a pleasure. No, total pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. As
Oh, thank
always, you
you.
can find me at the Super Samicom on Twitter/X. Video Ditch has Blue Sky now.
That's right. Courtesy
Look at
of
that.
Grant, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, thank you,
I
Grant.
follow you on there.
Yeah.
That's right.
I think. I hope.
We have a voice, line you could call into.
Oh, yeah. Someone could do that someday.
Yeah. In the description, the number will be there, and you can find Nick as always at.
Oh, yeah. Somebody stop me with two eyes, so that people know I'm a big Nintendo head, as I mentioned once or twice. And that's on every platform that I'm on. So
All right.
you can find it there.
Well,
Big
wonderful.
Jim Carrey guy.
It's
Yeah,
true. I
someone
love
stop
Jim
him.
Carrey, and I love Earthbound. So I'm essentially a completely intolerable, horrible, horrible person.
That's right. And with that, we will see you next week. Thank you again for listening or watching. And if you're on YouTube, do all the usual shit. I don't want to say it. It feels bad.
Oh yeah, if you're on YouTube, don't forget to smash that bell. Don't forget to smash that subscribe.
Hey, they do studies on this. If you don't say it, people don't do it.
People don't
If
do it. You gotta
say it,
give them the command. If you
yeah,
don't
you say, hey, hit
like this
subscribe,
video
and
or
they go,
subscribe,
oh, I
you're
forgot.
dead to me.
Yeah. If you don't subscribe, I know where you live, and I'm coming.
Exactly. All right. Well, thank you again. Until next time.